With the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 finally hitting theaters, I thought it'd be a very fun time to go back and rank all 3 Guardians films from least favorite to most favorite. Now, before I get into my ranking of the MCU's most fun trilogy, it's more important that you comment down below and tell me what your favorite Guardians of the Galaxy movie is. I'd love to hear it. Coming in at number 3 for me is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, I think that this movie does a lot of great things. In fact, the opening title sequence to where you see all of the action going on in the background while Baby Groot is dancing to Mr. Blue Sky is a perfect way to open this movie and immediately sets the tone. I think it's goofy, it's wacky, it's fun and visually interesting. Imagery and over-the-top elements, and all of the characters get plenty of moments to shine yet again. Also, I love the introduction of Mantis as a character here. I think she's a very welcomed character in this universe, and she fits very well within the Misfits overall. But I will say the film at times suffers from being a little bit too funny. In fact, it feels at times to where the stakes are not high enough to match the rest of the chaos going on, and all of the comedic beats tend to just get a bit overwhelming. These characters who before felt like they had some bit of depth now feel more one note than ever, especially Drax. This is a character that comes off as a very brooding and aggressive character that you would never expect to blurt the lines that he does. My nipples! But I appreciated the fact that he had a bit more dynamic range in the previous movie. Here, his entire character archetype is made up of delivering these jokes, and after a while, it just got to be a little bit much to where the humor was no longer as humorous. And while Kurt Russell as Ego is a great villain, and I love the reveal of him being his father, the way that the story progresses with his character, the way his arc unfolds, just felt a bit underwhelming for me. And with all the goofiness, there was also a crude nature to the movie. The tone was all over the place here, and while I enjoyed a lot of it, I do think it could have been better. But my runner-up is Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a movie that has been in my top 5 since it released. I still remember opening night going to see this movie and being completely blown away by how surprised I was. This was a group of characters that I had never heard before, yet quickly became accustomed to, very attached to, and wanted to see what journey they were going to go on. Pair that with James Gunn's bombastic style behind the camera, the way he stresses the importance of family and how you see all of these characters from different backgrounds come together to form this unlikely family, and he somehow found a way to make you feel for a talking tree monster and a raccoon.
Wow.
It's a tough task, but he succeeded. Pair that with one of the best soundtracks you're going to get in a movie ever. It's a great culmination of music, and I think James Gunn is great at the needle drops. He knows exactly when to put in songs at the right moments that not only fit the characters, but the themes of the story. And I mentioned Drax being a character that in Volume 2 seemed to only be one note when it came to the humor and didn't really have any other sort of depth to his character. Here is where they really got that right. Dave Bautista coming in as a WWE wrestler, you would never anticipate him having this type of role, but immediately you are latched onto his character, the humor that he delivers, all of the humor works, it feels fitting and completely unexpected for him.
Do not ever call me at the source.
James Gunn is just great at taking the most oddball characters and making them memorable. And this is one of his best examples of that. Yes, the villain is weak, one of the less memorable within the MCU, but it's not enough to take away from all of the great and surprisingness of this movie. But at my number 1 has got to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I know it's brand new, but I can already tell that this film has a lasting power, that it's gonna stick with me for a very long time.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
And the film had a really tough job, not only feeling like it connected with the other two, but also promising to expand on Rocket's storyline, while also bookending the trilogy in a way that felt fitting, and I think all of that was done incredibly flawlessly. It's the most grand in-scale thing that we have gotten since Avengers Endgame. The stakes felt real, the emotions were high. Overall, I felt like it just took all of the things that I loved about the previous two films, meshed it together and created this blend of pure magic. Rocket's storyline is tragic and hard to watch at times, but I think you can make an argument for every single character. They all get a moment to shine. They're all great on their own, but also prove why they're stronger together. It's, in my opinion, the funniest movie in the MCU. But it can also be extremely dark. It's gonna have an edge to it that a lot of people are not going to expect and may not enjoy, but for me, I felt like this is what the MCU has needed for quite some time, and it meshed well enough with the humor, with the levity of the rest of the movie very nicely. I think it's extremely ambitious and sometimes overly ambitious, but flaws and all, this is a movie that really stuck with me. I was emotional throughout more times than I can count, and it did things that I did not expect. But I was pleasantly surprised, and this is definitely going to be one that I go back and I revisit very often. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to stay tuned for a lot more Marvel content coming this weekend. I've got a full lineup prepared for you guys, and I can't wait for you to see it. But also, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. So if you're not a part of this channel, you don't miss out on the following content to come, because there's a lot of fun stuff coming your way. But until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.